As a defender, as a rebounder, he's great as a rebounder. As a ball handler, he looks really good. He like glides past people with that great height, that great length. And I think that working with Mutombo with the G League team is just going to enable him even more to get better. If you're watching this on the Clips channel, you could be watching this live on Twitch instead, where you can watch everything live, get more stories that you don't get on the Clips channel, and you can also interact with me, Q&As live on stream, twitch.tv/amateursports. Link is in the description. What's next? Okay, let's talk a bit about the Raptors roster, what the title of this stream is. Raptors just signed Reggie Perry. If you watched the video on Wednesday, a lot of people did. You know a bit about it. But Reggie Perry, can you guess why the Raptors signed him? 6'9", 7'1" wingspan. He's young. Brooklyn probably didn't want to lose him. However, because of the amount of players they've signed, they just don't have the space for him, so they let him go. The Raptors picked him up. He's on an Exhibit 10 contract, which means we can either sign him to a two-way contract in the NBA or put him in the G League. Stats last season. This guy's a good double-double player. He's a power forward. He's athletic, two-way, just what the Raptors like. His stats aren't really fair here because he barely got any minutes with the Brooklyn Nets. But his college stats from 2 years ago are pretty damn impressive. 17.4 points per game, 10 rebounds per game, 50% shooting from the field. Moderately efficient from the three. He's showcasing he has the ability to develop a jump shot. I think he's going to ultimately be in the G League, but that's okay. Let's look at the roster. We have to pick 5 people who have to get sent to the G League or get cut. There's 20 players, 5 gotta go. So how are we going to pick? So first of all, I'm gonna pick. I think that Delano Banton has a lot of talent, but he needs touches. He needs to play. And I think that to play, he's got to be in the G League, getting a ton of ball handling minutes, getting a ton of reps in. And if, he's showing to be a very good player, then we can bring him up on, if he's on a two-way. But personally, I think for his growth and for his development, it would be very beneficial to Banton to be playing in the G League. Also, I'm going to be at the G League games. I want to be watching Delano Banton playing there. So that I think he's 905 is really where he is going to be. David Johnson, we never see him anywhere, but David Johnson is probably going to join him in the G League. I think that's just 2 easy ones. Your younger guys who don't really need to have a role with the team, like they are there to get better. They are there to develop, and where they are going to develop the most is with those G League teams. So I'm excited to see the way Delano Banton progresses in the G League. I felt like in the summer league, he looked a lot better than I was expecting him to look. Like, he looks pretty skilled. He looks like he's got a good IQ. We got to work on the jump shot, got to work a little bit on those free throws. But as a defender, as a rebounder, he's great as a rebounder. As a ball handler, he looks really good. He like glides past people with that great height, that great length. And I think that working with Mutombo with the G League team is just going to enable him even more to get better. David Johnson, we still really don't know a lot about him. He seems to never be like there's all these jokes on Raptors social media, like, does David Johnson really exist? Because we never see him anywhere. We never see him hanging out with other Raptors guys. We never see him in videos. So when we do, it is a bit of a surprise. But again, for his development, I think G League is the best place for him. Next on the shit list, not the shit list, but probably not going to make it. I said it in the video. Reggie Perry, the guy we just talked about, I don't think he's got enough to make the final roster. I think that a G League spot will be good for him at 21 years old. I think that, getting the reps in is going to help him as well. You want your younger players to be developing, and you need to get repetitions. Ishmael Wainwright is kind of one of those fringe players. I think ultimately he's got like the role with the Raptors, so I'm not going to send him anywhere. I'm going to put him on the opening night roster. I was very impressed with him in Summer League, and even though he may not have the greatest talent, he's a good defender. We know he's a good defender, and he's going to showcase that during the season. Next guy that we need to send down. So we've got 3. We got to pick 2 more who can't make the roster. Freddie Gillespie is your, I don't know if he's good enough, but I think I'd like to have 3 centers on the team. So I'd like to have Precious Achiuwa, Kem Birch, and Freddie Gillespie all on the team to have 3 centers. I'd like to keep that intact. But we still got to pick 2 more. So Justin Champagny, I don't know how to say his name still. He was good in Summer League, but there was a lot of competition for the places on the Raptors. I don't quite think he'll make the cut. I think he's going to go to the G League. I think he's going to play well in the G League. And maybe he's got the talent to come back up. We signed Svi Mykhailiuk, and apparently a lot of people were looking for his signature. So he's going to make the opening night roster, which means 1 more has to go. I'm pretty torn between Bonga and Decker, but Bonga has shown to be a decent playmaker in his NBA career so far. Sam Decker should be like your good shooter. He's never been that elite of a shooter in the NBA, and why do we need Sam Decker when we have this guy or this guy to do our shooting? Yuta Watanabe, you can't see him, there he is. Yuta or Svi Mykhailiuk. So if I have to pick between Isaac Bonga and Sam Decker as a result of everything I've based off of, I am going to cut Decker because I think there is more upside in Bonga. However, you could make the argument again, well, if you want the young guys to develop, they got to play in the G League to get touches. I think Bonga is more suitable to play in the NBA. I'm not going to put Decker on my final 15-man. So for my 15-man roster, in the guard positions, I've got Fred VanVleet, I've got Malachi Flynn, I've got Goran Dragic, I've also got Gary Trent in the shooting guard position. Any others that I missed there? I mean, you could count Svi Mykhailiuk as a shooting guard. In the forward positions, you've got OG Anunoby, you've got Yuta Watanabe, you've got Ishmael Wainwright. In the power forward positions, you've got Pascal Siakam. You've also got who else? Well, actually, guard position, you've also got Isaac Bonga. Power forward, you got Siakam. You've got Chris Boucher. Don't think I'm missing anybody. In the center positions, you've got Precious Achiuwa, Kem Birch, Freddie Gillespie. Oh, Scotty Barnes as well in the forward positions. And the 5 guys that I would say don't make the cut from this summer camp, I am going to go for first of all, Delano Banton and David Johnson, just because I think that their development requires them to get the touches in the G League. I'm also going to toss Reggie Perry into there just for similar reasons. I think there's talent there, but we added him very late. I just don't think he's been there long enough to get on the roster. I'm also going to toss in Justin Champagny, who I really liked in Summer League. I just don't think he's quite ready to take the jump to the NBA, but let's give him some time. And Sam Decker. The stuff that he does is just a lower scale version of what Svi Mykhailiuk and Yuta Watanabe can do. So Bonga, who I think Bonga's about 22, 23, he is going to be with the Raptors. So there it is. Difficult decisions. However, the decisions that need to be made every season. I like the decisions that I made.